Dutch Oak has arrived. ESN, made for athletes.
Okay, guys, and welcome to this very special Olympia All-Star in-studio edition. We've got the Dutch Oak all the way over from Holland himself, Wesley Vissers.
Thank you for having me at your beautiful home. We've done this interview quite a lot of times, but never actually in person.
That's where you came from before.
Yeah.
Through that little webcam.
Exactly, yeah.
Right back to...
I actually have the same webcam at home, so it's literally true.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, because I was the first time I ever actually met you was I literally actually physically bumped into you backstage when you turned pro in London in March 2018. Uh-huh. And I remember thinking to myself, I thought classic guys were supposed to be small. I just couldn't believe it, because I'm 6 foot and I didn't realize how tall you were, because guys sometimes look big on stage. But when I saw you, I was like, wow. I said, I think we've got a star in the making here.
Yeah, that's good to hear, because I actually was a super heavyweight champion from the Netherlands before Classic Physique. So that's when I came to London for the first time ever taking an airplane in my life.
Oh, really?
to do that competition. Ever? Yeah. So a lot of firsts happened in that month, because then I turned pro and it was amazing, and I'll never forget that moment.
Yeah. And the thing is, you didn't waste any time, because you went, I remember seeing you at was it 10th 2019 Arnold Classic?
Yep. That's true. So I first turned pro in 2018 in March. Then I won my pro debut. So we thought we're like, oh, we're on a roll here. We're going to win everything. Because you think that because you're not experienced enough yet. But then you go to the Olympia, you realize, okay, this is a different ball game. Everybody is super conditioned. Everybody is super high quality. I've never seen those guys in my life before in real life, in person.
Wow.
So I was really surprised. And then I was like, okay, conditioning is the issue, they said. I'm going to try to nail it at the Arnold Classic in 2019.
Okay.
But I still got 10th, even I was better conditioned. So then I was like, okay, we got to do something else here. And that's when I decided to coach myself for Romania later that year. That
was when I remember seeing the results. And because I thought, oh no, I hope he's not one of those guys that never is able to get the condition. Yeah. He's just going to be kind of like a lost potential. Mm-hmm. And then I remember when you saw, because Romania that year, well, it's always after the Olympia, and that qualified you for the following year. I remember seeing the pictures and I was like, oh, thank goodness, he's absolutely nailed the conditioning. Yeah. And I feel like not just your conditioning, but your separation and your quality, you've just been constantly progressing every single year.
Yeah, I didn't realize that conditioning was so crucial in Classic Physique at first. So you're very right. I kept realizing every time more conditioned, I get rewarded for it. So I thought I was already conditioned at like the Chicago Pro before, because I won. I thought, okay, this is conditioned enough. But looking back at those pictures, I'm like still like maybe 5-6 kilos, which is like 13 pounds away from a true conditioning that I can achieve right now.
Yep.
So in 2019, the Romania Pro, that was the first time I showcased a good conditioning with the fullness still, and that allowed me to qualify for the Olympia again, because that's the only year I skipped the Olympia in 2019.
Okay.
The rest I've done them all, but I was like, I need a bit more time here to figure out my physique, to learn my own physique, coaching myself, and to learn the game, how to get really conditioned, and that's when it happened, and that's pretty much where my real journey began.
Talking of Chicago, do you remember when I messaged you after prejudging?
The tanning.
And I said, Wesley, get some more tan on and try and fill out a bit. You're looking a little bit flat, mate. And you were like, thank you so much for the feedback.
Guess who fixed that tan? Marley, yeah.
Here in the studio here with us, say hi.
Yeah.
Hi. I was like, I'm only nodding.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we went outside in the sun, and we took tanning with us from home in her suitcase, and she put a lot of tan on me in between the prejudging and finals, because you never want to lose for a reason of like the tan.
I know.
I mean, you've worked so hard. You got the muscle, you got the conditioning. That's enough for a win. But then let it be messed up with a tan. I mean, that's literally just half an hour of extra work that could make or break your victory there. So I'm very fortunate that I have people around me every time to help me in that regard, because it's an individual sport, but it actually is a team sport at the end of the day.
Yeah. Plus things like posing, like if you can't, like I always say, like you could fix like half an hour of, someone like yourself teaching someone some posing, you could fix their compulsories within 30 minutes. And that can make a big difference, like something like a tan. And, after all that dieting and training and prepping, you don't want to, if it's close, you don't want to get pipped by somebody that just did pay attention to those elements.
Exactly. But also, when you have a good physique, you have an expectation of how they're going to pose. And if they then don't pose the way you think they will, like as in a good presentation, if it's not as good as you thought it would be, it's actually double disappointing, because then you're like, what a shame he doesn't show his physique to the full ability.
Yeah.
And maybe in the judge's mind, it's like not even one negative, but two negatives at the same time, which somebody with a slightly less favorable physique could beat somebody with a worse presentation with a better physique.
Yep.
That's how it can go at the top level.
So what's it like being back in the UK? Because obviously we've obviously here on your Olympia All-Star Tour, because we've done tours with like Ronnie Coleman, Phil Heath, Brandon Curry, you know, I like the legends and the current Olympia champions, but also the people that I truly believe will be next in line, the kind of the ones that are the new generation, the ones that are kind of coming up hard like yourself. And it was further cemented by you winning the Arnold Classic.
Yes.
What was that like? Walk us through it.
Yeah, the Arnold Classic. I mean, it's not just the second biggest show in the year. At least that's what people used to say, because now people are starting to say, wait a second, the Arnold Classic. It's Arnold himself.
Who's
right
this
there.
guy? Who's this guy doing Snapchat?
Because of him and his influence on the sport. Of course, he's the reason why we can all do this right now, I believe.
Yeah.
But his show, the prize money has increased. It's already quite high for classic physique when I won it. But it's even debatable whether, compared to the Olympia, it's a kind of different kind of show. So winning that show was so special to me, not only winning the award, but getting it awarded by Arnold and being congratulated by him. But also, most of all, finally, I was able to show everybody the potential that was always there.
Yeah.
Whenever I get like 11th or 9th or 8th or 7th, the people were saying, you should have ended up higher. And there's always a reason why the judges don't put me as high as they would like me to go, because there's something missing, like a little thing. Maybe the glues are not as striated as it should be, or maybe the presentation is not as good as it could be. But at the Arnold, everything came together. And in the end, that gave me the victory, which even I did not see coming in this way. I was like, yeah, I mean, and to win it twice in a row, because when you win the first Arnold and you beat somebody like Ramon, people are like, okay, Ramon, maybe he should have won, or maybe it was a fluke, maybe it was a one-time deal.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but then I went to the UK here, and I proved it once again.
Two-time Olympian champion Brion, I think he's looking the best he's looked since he won the Olympia. I think he's really had a resurgence. I mean, he was like, I was expecting him to be so improved.
I thought he looked his best ever, in my opinion.
Yeah,
even better than when he won the Olympia itself.
I mean, he was popping. He was in condition. You got who's number 3 in the world, Ramon number 2. Yeah. So you didn't just beat one, because you were 7th at Olympia. So really, you are technically ranked number 7 in the world in classic. Yeah. In a very ultra competitive division. Yeah. And then you've got, like Ramon number 2 twice. Yeah. Number 3, and Brion, who's never out of the top 5. Yeah. And a 2-time Olympic champion.
Yeah, and Ramon was also the previous winner of the Arnold himself.
True. So
it's
good point.
Yeah, you're beating somebody who was really established in the sport. So when something like this happens, people are like, well, is this really true? Is this deserved? But then winning another show with pretty much the same stacked lineup except for Ramon then. Yeah. I mean, that just, took all the doubt away.
Rubber stamped it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And the thing is, I mean, you told me something yesterday. I think you were talking to someone yesterday, or was it in the seminar, the second one we did at Monster Factory? And you said, because I said, I remember doing a live watch party for a different platform. And I said, guys, my eyes, you can watch it, it's live, so it's like, I'm not lying. And I said, guys, my eyes keep being drawn to Wesley. And they're like, because they were like, looking for Ramon and Urs and Brion. And I said, no, I think he could win this. Like I said, go and check. And then after about half an hour, and then obviously the call outs and stuff, they were like, Giles, I think you're right. Because there was 4 of us on the panel, kind of just, analysing, like literally the live stream as it was going out live. It wasn't post recorded or anything. And I was like, and they're like, Giles, I think you could be right, yeah. And I was like, I really hope they give it to him, because, he's really leapfrogging over like 3 big names there. And I just hope it's judged fairly. Yeah. And they're really based upon not previous rankings in the Olympia, but how all of them look today. And they did.
Yes, that's exactly how Tyler Mannion himself said it also after the competition
good.
was over.
Good.
He said, it doesn't matter what their previous rankings were. We're looking at the athletes as they are today.
Yeah.
Like the day of the show.
As it should be.
Yeah, exactly. And when it's like this, now they proved it. Yeah, it is like this because I won it after many years losing to all of those guys, like since the beginning, basically. I've never beat any of them.
Yeah. Oh, really? None of them?
Yeah, except for Michael the Bull. We've been kind of switching around.
Yeah.
So we had kind of like a battle like this, but now it's kind of sealed the deal. Okay, now it's not going to happen again the other way around. But you have to beat all those guys. It's still unbelievable to me.
And you said yesterday that you were lighter.
Yes.
Because when we spoke a few months ago, and you said, because I said about the new weight cap, and you said, I've got, because obviously it's not advantageous to the taller guys.
Yeah.
And then you said, I said, how much can you get? He goes, 900 grams. And we said it on the screen here in the studio. And I was like, no, that's disappointing. And you went, no, 900 grams, even on someone my size, that I can do a lot with that.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I didn't buy that at all. But you did. But you actually came in lighter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so I came in lighter than my very first Olympia, where I was shared 14th place.
Wow.
So it took me 6 years
Yeah.
to become lighter in body weight and then to win the Arnold.
Yeah.
So that just proves to you that body weight really does not tell you a whole lot. You got to take those shape pictures, see what you look like, and that is ultimately what the judges are going to see. But the lighter that I get towards the show, the less stressful you'll be about weighing in. So sometimes you weigh in the morning, okay, you can be fasted if you want, it doesn't really affect your peaking. But if you weigh in the evening or in the afternoon, so you should have eaten a couple of meals already. And that 900 grams allows me 2 to 3 meals to eat to already start the peaking process.
Okay.
And to basically not be worried about not catching up to your physique anymore because you are fasted for so long, you're not drinking anything, and then start peaking with only maybe 1 day to go. That is going to be very difficult for a tall physique like myself. But if I weigh quite a lot below the weight limit, like that 900 grams helps to put me those extra meals in, then I can just start peaking and not even worry about making weight because I'm still below the weight limit and just keep going as if I wouldn't even have to weigh in. I just wake up, have my breakfast, have the water that I need, go to the weigh in with my trousers on, t-shirt on, be below the weight limit and go about my day. Or other classic physique competitors, they might have to be fasting or no water.
Some really struggle.
Which really hurt their look in the end, because if you don't nail it after the weigh-in then, you might not present the look you want, especially with the fullness.
Do you ever have any discrepancies with your height? Is it always the same every time?
No.
Because they've got a new rule. I've been told. I was told in Hungary that they take it 3 times and then they measure the average.
Well, let me just say this: everybody who did the Arnold Classic Ohio will never have to measure their height again, because they went in the morning at 10 a.m. The weigh-in was different. We all had to go into the room individually, so no one else was around except for the one writing down the height and the weight and the one doing the measurement itself. So the height they measured at the Arnold, Ohio was put in stone. So
brilliant.
So the weight you have, now you know for sure, okay, this is how much I'm supposed to weigh.
Yeah.
We were told it would be the average of 3 times, you're right.
Yeah.
But without telling us, they just decided, okay, this is going to be the show where everybody who competes, it's just going to be one measurement and that's it. So we don't have the opportunity to present like a fake height or try some weird stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've seen arched feet, people dipping their hair.
Or
one guy. What did the story tell us? They were going to put his hair, and he put a block in his hair.
Yeah.
So when it stopped, it hit. He was like, "Yeah, come on." They're trying anything to get the extra height.
We've seen it all in Romania. A dreadlock wig when he was actually bald. So and that adds like a few inches, which is like multiple pounds and kilos you can add.
Wow.
But I've always been like, officially I'm 6'3", so according to my own height measurement, what's on my passport and what I've been measured at multiple shows, like Romania, for example, I was in the evening 6'3", but some shows are like a little bit below it. And the unfortunate thing about classic physique is that you have not a calculation per like half an inch, but it's like one giant leap downwards. If you are right below 6'3", you are put in a different category.
Oh, wow.
Which
So that's stressful.
It changes like 5 pounds or something all of a sudden. Even though the difference might be like 1/10 or 1/4 of an inch, it costs you like 5 or 6 pounds. So that's, but I'm happy with my weight right now that I'm allowed to weigh. So I've not reached that limit yet by far. So there's still many years to come where I can improve my physique and show a better package.
Good. So, I mean, you're a very competent, confident athlete. You've won Romania, different shows, Poland. I mean, how many pro shows have you won? It's about 6.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you don't even know. Wow, you've just been racking them up.
Yeah. I mean, I can't, even if I think about it now, that's a good sign, because it's not like, oh, I won 2. No, it's actually quite some more now. Of course, you've got the 2 Arnolds. You've got France, it's 3. Poland.
Yeah.
Chicago.
I'm sure you've won more.
Yeah, I've won more.
You can't.
I always forget.
Most pros
1 or 2.
always know. They know exactly the days and the times.
I don't.
That's good.
Every time, because I've qualified. This is going to be my 6th Olympia, I think, which means I had to win at least 5 times. But I've won this Arnold twice, and Romania, by the way, twice. That's already 7 now. Okay, so at least 7. Let's just say that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's already quite a nice amount of shows, a list of shows to put on your name.
Yeah.
But I'm not done yet, not by far.
Of course, because I mean, there's levels to this industry. There's ceilings you have to break through to get to the next level. And right now, by what you did at the Arnold, you've gone from someone who wasn't making top 6, just outside the top 6 in an ultra competitive class, to the conversation we are having now is, well, I don't want to state the obvious, but you've got one guy left.
Yes. It still sounds strange to say, but there's one guy in the whole world left who I haven't beat yet, who is officially ranked higher than myself. So that's, of course, Chris Bumstead. And it's going to be a great battle, because the funny thing is, back in 2018, we were put against each other by the public, basically, because I won everything before going to the Olympia, and he was at that moment already number 2 in the world, and people were telling him, "Watch out, Wesley is coming."
Really?
Back in 2018, and then
Wow.
and then we met each other for the first time, and we recognized each other as in respect, that we got there. But of course, then he beat me time after time after time again. But in the meantime, I've been improving quite quickly myself as well, and I do believe this this is gonna be the year that, just like I said before the Arnold Classic, it's not just gonna be Ramon wins and who's second. It's gonna be a battle, and it's gonna be the same thing for the Olympia. It really is gonna be a tight, incredible battle that's going to be very exciting and not easy to judge for the judges.
No, I said to you about when we were organizing this tour, and I said, look, I believe you're the next in line. I said, and I don't believe that Chris is going to go on after 6 wins. And you went, no, let's not confuse it. I'm not here to, after he retires, I'm here to beat him this year.
Yes.
And then I started thinking, I started to really absorb and start to ponder on the fact that, what we've achieved by winning the Arnold Classic. Like I said, it's like you've now, like I said, it's the only guy left you have to beat. And I mean, nobody, Ronnie Coleman, Jake Cutler, Phil Heath, no one is unbeatable.
True.
So.
Yes, and that is my goal, because when I look at Chris, he has a very good physique, but it's just like you say, it's not unbeatable and it's not perfect. I'm not perfect, but the goal is for my strong points to overtake his weaker points, and his strong points to not look that strong anymore against my weak points, because the weak points are starting to disappear.
Yes.
It's starting to become a true classic physique, like from the 70s, with the modern conditioning and proportions of today. That is my goal. And then with the presentation of back then, because I still believe back then, like Arnold, for example, and also Frank Zane and all the other guys, they had such a way about them of presenting their physique.
It was different, wasn't it?
Every time that I do a competition, I try to learn and watch them. Okay, how did they really do this? Play the videos in slow motion and see the charisma they showed, like all the way down to the facial expressions, the mimicking of the hands.
Yeah.
And I can promise you, at the Olympia, I will bring that back to the Olympia stage, and in an incredible Arnold-esque way. that I think will bring back many memories for people who actually saw Arnold doing it of that generation. So that's the goal.
I can imagine like watching Pumping Iron. I can just visualize you in the background in Gold's Gym. You know, you'd fit in just perfectly. You know, like you got the Golden Era T-shirt on the same. You know, the Arnold is numero uno and all that. And I can just imagine it. I can imagine it. And but I wonder what Arnold thought when he was watching. I bet he was, because he watches the show. He loves the show. I've been sat next to Arnold at the Arnold Classics, and he really gets into it. He's not just he loves it. He loves it. That's why he does it. You know, he does it. And I wonder what he thinks when he looks up and thinks, "Hang on a minute." When he see the like when you remind me when I see you posing, it reminds me of with Arnold with the ballet dancer. I visualize the transitions with the big sweeping arm movements and stuff like that. I think you've completely nailed it in that respect.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
I mean, how much time do you put into your posing?
Yeah, quite a lot, especially at the beginning. To even get started on doing those poses took me so long.
Did it?
I was very bad at posing at the beginning.
Really? You were?
Yeah, it doesn't come naturally at all.
Wow.
Because I was very like a stick man on basically on stage. And the way that Arnold hits those poses, especially the transitions, I watched that I think hundreds of times on YouTube and slowed it down and see how to really hit those poses correctly. And finally, I was able to, and now it's about stringing them more and more together, especially going from one iconic pose to the next, and that transition. I will show an even more improved version at the Olympia of that.
Is that distracting when Arnold does that? Because I know he's your hero, and I know if I was, you're thinking about your routine, you're thinking about your transitions, and you got all the things to, keeping yourself tight and stuff, and then you got Arnold down there. And I mean, the inner fanboy must be just wanting to just burst out. I mean, what's that like when he's doing that? I mean, I can't imagine the how that feels.
It's actually the other way around, because you're more distracted when he doesn't do it. Because you're waiting for the moment. Please get up.
Come on,
because I would look like a fool if I, the Dutch Oak, would not be someone who he stands up for, and the rest he does stand up for.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, please.
And this was also your dream, right?
Yes.
This was the moment that you're hoping for, that he was really coming to the stage. We always said, I have to be posing for Arnold. That's the number one goal.
Really, that's the driving force.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do the routine for Arnold.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and honestly, during those poses, I'm always I'm looking in the audience, but I'm not really seeing anything,
Okay.
But I did see, Arnold just stands out, of course, so you can see that. But
also, I think one of your new trademarks is that, especially I watch all your prep pictures, you've got your upper pec striations.
Yes.
You've done it, and I've never actually seen an upper chest with that level of detail. And this is a guy that 6 years ago we were thinking, is this guy ever going to be able to get the real conditioning of today?
Yeah.
Okay, he's got the shape of the 70s and 80s, but does he have the modern day conditioning?
Yeah.
Is he going to be able to achieve that and attain that?
Yeah.
And then now I love, I call them stripy delts. I like seeing striations. I like seeing detail.
Yeah.
I like seeing, this is what I like. This is what this is very, very cool for me.
Yeah. I mean, I was always like, why do I show that quality in my delts and the upper pecs, but not in the glutes at the same time? So, well, some people have the other way around, and I do prefer it. If I would ever have to choose a physique, I would rather have those details in the upper body than in the lower body, and not in the upper body. But now I've managed to get both at the same time.
You have.
So now the striations in the upper pecs are even more finer detailed.
Yeah.
But now the striations in the glutes are also showing, which is what was needed for a competition like this to win it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm just trying to recall then when I felt like, because every year I felt you've improved somehow. Not just because with classic, it's not just about getting bigger because you have a weight limit. Yeah. But I do feel like you've managed to make it. I think I've got 2 years ago in my head when like the leg separation. I mean, I'll try and get it. I mean, it's just unreal. I mean, look at that. I mean, I can only the people in the way. Look at that. I mean, that to me looks incredible.
Especially the sartorius muscle that you see, like going from the hip. Yeah, that muscle exactly.
Thyroid. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, but that's what my coach tells me. He told me also a different way of posing my legs.
Yeah.
To get that separation out even more.
Oh,
and
really?
He told me if you do this, your legs look twice as big. And that's why I love having a coach.
Yeah.
Because he tells me stuff that I didn't even think about doing.
Who's that? Erzen?
Or that's my coach and Urs.
Is that Stefan?
Yes,
Your coach,
Stefan Kienzel. He coaches us both.
That's worked well.
That's worked very well, very well.
He's the man at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, I won Poland. It was my last competition that I won on my own because I wanted to prove to myself, can I coach myself and be successful?
Oh, Poland, you coach yourself?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I coached
Good on
myself.
you, mate.
But
Good on
right
you.
afterwards, I sent Stefan a message, an email, asking him, do you want to coach me? And he said, yes, I would be honored to.
Wow.
Because I needed somebody to tell me, okay, back off now, or eat more now, or send me Monsieur pictures. I want to see what you're doing. Show me the leg movement you're doing. Are you doing it correctly? So somebody to tell me, to either tell me don't be so strict that you're actually going to be stringy. Because I'm like, I can always go deeper. I can always do more cardio.
Yeah.
But you need somebody who knows objectively, now you got to stop, now you got to do this or that, with the experience that he had and the most of all personality he has. Very kind and nice to talk to.
That's good because I find I've spoken to all the top coaches, Sybil and Neil Hill and Chris Aceto and stuff, and the one thing that keeps popping up of what separates the good Patrick Tour, the Milos, the good coaches from the really good coaches is that they're like friends.
Yeah.
They're like genuinely looking out for their well-being.
Yeah.
And it's just, because things with that, you guys are machines. Pre-contest, you're like, your mind is stronger than your body, and you've got to be careful because sometimes you can go too far, you can injure yourself, you can go flat, stringy, but you just keep pushing forward. So someone like Stefan, well, actually, I won't say makes the prep easier, but makes it more effective by telling you when to put the foot on the gas and when to back off.
It takes a lot of mental stress away.
Yeah.
Because I don't care how physically I feel. I'll do it anyway until I fall over, which actually happened once.
It happened last night, actually, with the...
Oh, yeah.
Come on, you need to eat. You need to eat.
True.
Yeah, but it literally, I was doing cardio once, and then the next thing I know, I was sitting downstairs.
No, he came off the stairs only with one feet, and he was like...
Oh, wow.
Going down, and I was like...
What happened?
I had Lara in my hand,
and
we had a visitor at this moment at our house.
Visitor.
Come over Lara, and he was coming down in his underwear, and I was like, he would never do that. Like Wesley in his underwear when I have a visitor, it's like really weird. And
I thought you said a visor. I thought you meant the baby.
Oh no,
I saw a visitor.
That was also the case. But
My mistake.
When,
Sorry.
She was. She was coming to see Lara,
and
he was like
pants.
coming down in his pants, and he was sweating all over. He was like totally wet, and I asked him, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine." "Do you need anything?" No, but he's staying down at the kitchen. And he would go from one to the other side.
I was bumping against the cabinets.
I've been I'm diabetic, so I've been
and I was like, okay, I grab a chair and I pulled him down on the chair, and he was like, "No, I don't want your help." And I was like, "You don't have a choice. You're going to sit down." And I was like, "Okay, what could it be? Maybe it will be sugar." And I was like running down the house and open all the drawers to look at dextro, the sugar thing.
Don't need a lot.
And
just to catch it.
His jaws were locked. I have to open his mouth.
Wow.
Put some in, and after 30 minutes, and he was waking up.
Then I woke up. I was like, where am I?
Where am I?
I don't remember anything that he says. I don't remember it.
Yeah.
So, but that's how deep you can go in prep. So that's why you need a coach to tell you, okay, let's back off now.
This guy. We've literally got three of the three people in that picture. We've got them in this studio here.
Yep.
So say hello, Nils.
That's the team. That's the core team.
To pick it up. Yeah.
That's the core team that always, since the Arnold UK 2022, we've started going, the three of us, as always as the core, and it works out really well. Yeah. It works out really well. So
when we decided to do the, obviously approached you about doing the tour, and you said, because it's almost commonplace now for people to want to bring their videographers because it's so important. You've got such a big YouTube channel, such a well-established YouTube channel, and obviously you wanted to bring, your lady as well. And I thought, okay, and to be honest, anything that makes you more relaxed, I'm going to get the best out of you. You're going to be more, because we want it to be a good experience for everyone. And we're on day 3 now, day 8. Yes. How are you feeling?
Very good.
It's
we're getting to see all over UK, which is special. I've been here a couple of times, but I've never seen like where you live, for example, the beautiful countryside and the hills, and it looks beautiful, and the scenery.
Or pets.
Yeah, and the pets. But it's already
the spider.
To see all those cool gyms, which I never would have gone to because now you're basically being led to all of those awesome gyms, which automatically, because they want me there, they are good gyms because they're fan of bodybuilding, so they must be good gyms. And every time I train there, it's a pleasant surprise to try out all the equipment, and always a good workout.
And you're very. I mean, thing is, I've been able to feel you out by interviewing you many times. I remember once, I think you just won a show, I think maybe Poland. Mm-hmm. And I said, "Can I get you for an interview?" And he went, and I assumed you'd be still in the hotel in that country. Uh-huh. And you said, "Oh, I'll do 7:00 on this time, my time." So I got it. And then I was like, "Hang on a minute, that looks like behind you. That's your home." And you went, "You literally just got your bags on the floor and jumped on the laptop to do an interview with me." So, and I knew. The way you interview, the way you speak, very professional, very, prompt, and I just thought I've got to do a tour with this guy because, especially with, and even without what you did at the Arnold Classic, now it's like, right, okay, then.
Now it makes even more sense.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, there's so much excitement around the Classic class now, and it's the Classic guys now, like people like yourself, Chris Bumstead, Urs, I mean, you're like, you're as big and as popular as the Open guys. More popular than probably 80% of the Open guys. Because there's more of a sort of a young guys at the gym look at you and think that's what I want to look like. I don't want to be a 350 pound. Yeah.
It's more relatable.
Yeah.
Of course, when people see me, they see that I'm big, but it's still nothing compared to like seeing the Open guys. I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah, but you've got the height as well.
Yeah, it's the height.
So it's cool.
But yeah, it's like a different look, and it's always like the Arnold quote. Yeah,
stripy delts.
Yes, this is for me. Muscle quality is so important, and that's why it took me 17 years before I'm at this level. But it's just working in the gym and showcasing that in your physique. So no shortcuts in anything, just work for it, and eventually you can get something like this.
No problem with the conditioning there, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely no problem with the conditioning there. Yeah. I'm a lover of conditioning. I just and so the Classic classes. I mean, last time I competed, I was in Classic. And it's a great category. It's a great category. I think you were born for it, mate. So this is the.
We also known that this conditioning at the Arnold was different than before when we are in the bathroom and I saw his heels like underneath his foot.
Oh really?
All the fat was gone.
Like
I was
Dorian.
like,
Dorian. Yeah, 92.
Looking at his feet and I was like, okay, this is it. Like before he gets on stage, I saw his feet and I said, this is it. You're going to rock today, and I think maybe you're going to win. And I mean, he was like, okay, if this is not enough, I don't know anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you've given literally. This is the best I can bring.
Yeah, this was the best package I have ever seen him.
Look at that. I mean, there's no sharpening of pitches there, and the conditioning. I like the separation. I like to see not just conditioning, and because sometimes people think, oh, they're vascular, I'm in condition, and they're not really dry, separated, detailed. Yeah. Like that is. Yeah. That's. I mean, with a weight cap, I think you've really sort of pushed the limits of what you can do with that weight cap. Yeah. But anyway, guys, right, we're gonna have to wrap this up in a couple of minutes. So we're off to Strength Asylum. We've got it was day 3 of day 8. So just obviously, first I want to thank you all for coming to the UK. It's been it's an absolute pleasure because I do it day by day. So at the end of the day, I'll assess the day, and I was like, said to Lauren, I said, like, this has been a 10 out of 10 day. This has been a 10 out of 10 day, and it's like, and I'm always paying attention to the people leaving. They come up and make comments, the gyms, and I message them afterwards. I look on their social media. And it's just, you've been knocking it out the park, mate. And it's worked so beautifully. Yeah, I noticed it as well, the genuine response from the people, but also the owners. I want them to be happy because they are ultimately the ones responsible for making an event like this happen also. Mm-hmm. So and when they genuinely respond in a good way, in a positive way, then I'm very happy. Okay, that's a good job done, and let's move on to the next one. I think a second tour is definitely in the works. Different countries, maybe. Because we're opening it up for like international, not just because originally it was like Phil Heath, UK, Brandon Curry, 3 countries, Ashley Coltwasser, 3 countries, Ronnie Conway just did 3 countries, UK, Ireland, Slovakia. So we're really trying to open up. So if there's any countries that you think, your fan base and you're doing good sales with your clothing, so where you're really popular, let's try and set it up. But we will. Well, guys, don't want to be late. So, like I said, I want to thank you so much, Wesley. And appreciate it. We're going to continue the rest of this awesome tour. Awesome. And just final word for the people, the fans buying their tickets or watching the live stream for the Olympia. What message have you got for them? First of all, thank you very much for the incredible golden support for bodybuilding, because ultimately
we mentioned before, social media is very important, but without the people behind it, leaving comments, the feedback, even the criticism, it all helps getting the sport out there. When you watch a live stream, buy a ticket, go to the show, especially when I stand on stage, the atmosphere that I feel, it gives me so much energy, gives all the other athletes energy to do even a better job at posing, at the battle, and it makes it such a great experience for everybody. So trust me, it's just different when you go to the show. So if you're able to go to a bodybuilding show like this, truly go to it, because it's going to be an incredible experience. And I will always do my best. If you're ever up for a talk or a picture, I will be there for at least a couple of hours on the expo, for example, if it's ever there, to be there, because I really appreciate that support. So thank you very much for the golden support.
And scream as hard as you can.
Yes.
Also for him.
That's just me and Lauren.
I'm always the loudest one in the public, but I like to hear everybody and feel really support for the bodybuilders.
Wesley always has a lot of crowd support. You know.
Yeah, it's great.
So
it's amazing.
It's getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
Good. Well, like I said, you're breaking through those ceilings now every single time, and there's one left now. So also like a big thank you there to Dan Solomon, Jake Wood, and the entire Olympia team for all the support they give with the Olympia All-Star Tours. It really makes a difference, you know, helping us promote it and making sure that these tours are as big a success as we can make them. So, all right then, guys. Well, big thank you there for watching. Hope you enjoyed this on the Olympia TV YouTube channel. And I think the next time you'll see Wesley, he'll be on the Olympia stage. Let's see what happens.
Let's do this.
And don't forget
To stay golden.
And we are out.
Don't forget to stay golden. ESN. Made for athletes.